We are back on the current review with Thompson today on Central News. It will also be later posted on the TT hookup. Please go there and check it out. The TT hookup. Please subscribe onto our channel also there. Debza, what is the name of your channel again? And people should subscribe.
It's the Unsaid SA.
The unsaid, like the untold kind of thing, like the things that have not been said.
For now, our tagline is "Let's leave it all on the table."
Let's leave it on the table. Okay, cool. People must go and find it on YouTube, right?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
Yeah. All right, cool. We are now being joined by Ayanda Roda. He is a cultural activist and chairperson of the Free State Music Association. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
All right, and I'm pronouncing your surname as Roda. Is that correct, or is there a particular way in which to be pronounced?
It's actually Roda. It's a closer surname. It's Roda. Yeah, Roda.
Yeah. All right. Ayanda Roda, but I'm sure everybody calls you Roda, ne?
Yeah, you are right.
Yeah.
But it's
so you are a chairperson of the music association in the Free State.
Yes.
What do you guys do?
Well, no, as the association, our role is to advocate and lobby for the DJs and musicians within the Free State, create opportunities abroad, Africa and the country at large. So we are linking opportunities, or we are linking artists with opportunities that are prevailing outside the province, particularly your music your music awards, your music conferences that are happening in the country, your music exchange that are happening in Africa and in the US, Ghana, and France during January. So basically, that's our role, is to create opportunities for all musicians that falls under our association.
And I suppose that means you also engage a lot with governments in terms of advocacy and lobby for musicians in the country.
Yes, we do engage with government, but our stronghold is within our stakeholders, which are the music organizations, which holds the economy of the musicians, your SAMRO, your CAPASO, your IMBRA, collective societies, which is where the most money of musicians and DJs are actually sitting on how to access them. Our role with government is based on policies and how do we work together in empowering the same musicians that we are leading as an association.
All right, thanks. And today we've invited you just to get your reaction on the latest appointments for heads of departments. Who will be also joined in this discussion by Tebogo Kotsi. He's a podcaster and a media practitioner also. He's done his introductions. He won't be going through it, but I know you guys know each other. Let me just get your overall reaction to the recent appointments for HODs in the Free State. We know that that in the Department of Community Safety, Roads and Transport, there is a new HOD, that Dr. Maseko Chabalala. And then in the Department of Social Development, there is Advocate Tumelo Pasho. And the Department of Sports, Arts, Culture and Recreation is Mr. Steve Chabalala. Let's just get your first impressions around this. What do you think?
Yeah, no. In short, we need to welcome change as a province, and we need to know that there's no permanent person who can sit in a certain position for more than 20 years or 30 years. What it needs to happen is that change is pain, but change is good. And at some point, we need to take drastic decisions in making sure we better the lives of our community in the Free State, and especially when it comes to issues of safety, Roads and Transport, Dr. Masego. It's a transformation process which, as a country, we need to accelerate and put more effort into it, because she's also a female, and it's our role to empower the women to be in such positions and take decisions and lead in terms of corporate, or not only corporate, in terms of governance. Again, it shouldn't be a problem. So our echo, or our concern, actually, it will be around issues of accelerating roads construction, because as artists, we travel at night, and artists, we always find ourselves into accidents that are unnecessarily, and these are caused by the roads that are not fit for our cars that we're driving. Though we comply, we pay road fees, we pay everything that is supposed to be paid as artists. So we are saying, Dr. Masego, we are relying and hoping that when it comes to issues of roads, especially national roads, where we travel most of the time, sometimes some of the towns we can't catch flights from this town. I mean, you can't catch flight from Bloemfontein to Eastern Cape. You need to drive from Bloemfontein to Eastern Cape. So you are faced with 4 to 5 hours driving, and you would be driving through potholes, you'd be driving through roads that are not healthy for your car. So we are actually saying she needs to put more focus into that. She needs to put more focus into the traffic cops. I've met one of the traffic cops on my way here. I mean, her uniform would tell you that it means basically it's no longer in a state that she was supposed to be wearing it. And I'm just saying this, I don't know the processes within the department of buying uniforms for the traffic cops, but it was so embarrassing to be stopped by a person who doesn't have confidence on what she's wearing and serving the states, representing the government. So Advocate Dr. Masego, we are hoping that he will put more efforts into that. To come into advocate part, where he has been there as acting, and we saw her work, we saw his work, we saw his effort. He tried from the previous MEC even to the new MEC. He has been cooperating. He has been trying to reach, although he can't reach every corner of the province. He was at the center of what happened in Jagersfontein as the HOD, if you remember. From Department of Social Development. Social Development played a very pivotal role during that tragedy that happened in Jagersfontein. So I think his appointment came to that level to say he has shown leadership around issues of social development, around issues of that we are faced with as a province. So he will put more effort now that he's no longer acting, he's no longer in Hollywood. Maybe now he's settled in his office. We're expecting more, because we had 2 actings. They were acting, 3 actings. The roads safety was acting, social development was acting, arts and culture was acting. So we were in a Hollywood state. So we are hoping that now there are permanent posts that were appointed, people that are appointed to be served. Specifically, our interest is within Chabalala, which is Steve Chabalala, as the new HOD. I know he's got know-how in terms of sports. He has served in several sports departments. So coming back to the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, it has an element of what we call Program 2, Cultural Affairs. We are hoping that he'll be able to put more focus into that Program 2, that there's a serious crisis, as the Premier would say, or said to the Premier during his speech at some point in one of the gathering of the ANC, that they need to put more effort into empowering local artists. So Steve Chabalala has got a serious task at hand in assisting the Premier to achieve his goal in empowering Free State artists, and which also needs a lot of funds to compare us with other artists such as your Joburg and Durban. And that only to tell you that the budget that they're getting yearly, the fiscal year, and the budget that we're getting here is totally, it's 60-40. So for him to achieve such things, it won't be easier with the small budget that the department is getting. But again, the officials that they have been there in that Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, it's actually the officials that thinks they know everything in that department, and it's easy to mislead a person like him. So he's actually finding himself in a jungle. So we are hoping that he would engage with stakeholders such as Free State Music Association, and we also saw a statement that was released by CIFSA, which is Cultural and Creative Industry Federation of South Africa, under the leadership of Dalinge, able to say we welcome his appointment as the HOD in this department, and we are willing to support him. We are willing to give him any necessary support or resources that he needs from our side. So we are hoping the same thing to coming from his side, and in short, that's what we are saying, to say change is good. We are welcoming this change of these three HODs, but our interest is within the Department of Arts and Culture.
Thank you. Thank you. Tebza, your first impressions and your reaction to these appointments?
Well, finally, I'm going to agree with what Ayanda what he said. Acting, we've been in a movie role for quite a long time. And that's why we're sitting with Noma Kufe today, because it's been acting, and no cast that actually has been managed to deliver anything. But in this situation, what I'm going to say to you is that I do welcome the new HODs, and they've got a huge task that they need to fulfill. Especially, they don't have time anymore due to the fact that everything has collapsed. I mean, like you can see with Tate Chabalala coming into the Department of Sports, he's got a huge task, like Ayanda said. And because one, we don't have Celtics, it's gone. The sports code in the province also has collapsed in terms of corporate investments from different types of